Okay, so now that you're registered in your Explore Learning account, let's talk about how we're going to do these simulations. So, get myself out of the way, over to the side. You are going to open your Summer-Winter Gizmo worksheet. And how this works is you follow all the instructions on this worksheet using the simulation, and then you are going to put your answers in the orange boxes. Now, it's going to be very tempting to just skip to the orange box, read the question and the answer. But I will tell you, as you get into the different activities, it's going to be important that you read the introductions because those basically give your answers away. They help you find the right answer when it gets confusing. So don't think, oh, I need to read all of number 2 before I can put my answers in these data tables. Okay, so you've got activity A, B, and C. I will tell you, I want you to get through at least activity A and B. C would be if you have extra time and finished early. So how in the world do you do this worksheet? Well, you're going to be working in breakout groups. So you're going to go into that Explore Learning account that you have, and you will have one gizmo that is listed. Now, I'm in the teacher view, and you are going to click Launch. You're going to be going back and forth between the 2 tabs, and when this loads here, you're going to have 2 views. You're going to have a space view and an earth view. So this is what it looks like from space. This is what it looks like from earth, and it gives you the dates, June 21st and December 21st. You also have, and you can actually maximize this out, although it might not be easy to work that way because you're going to have to be going back and forth to the worksheet to answer your questions. So let me just give you a little overview on how you can interact with the gizmo. First of all, we want to show our sun rays because this is going to help us determine if we have direct sunlight or indirect sunlight. Now, by default, the axis is already set up at what our axis tilt is, and here's our white axis there, and it's at 23.5 degrees. You can actually, in the lab, there may be some questions, you can increase the tilt, or you can make it where we don't have any tilt at all, but you want to make sure that you always reset to the accurate measurements they tell you in the gizmo, or otherwise your answers will all be wrong. Another thing is the current latitude. You know, San Antonio is at 20, I think we're like 29 or 26 or 29, but the gizmo tells you to go to 40 degrees north. So you've got your northern hemisphere and your southern hemisphere, so make sure that you're looking at that as well. Now, once you have that on, you can go to the Earth view and you'd be able to get some information. You're going to be able to see the number of daylight hours that happen at the different dates. And then you'll notice this line right here, this is like a solar panel, and these yellow lines represent the direction of the rays and how many rays hit that solar panel to help us figure out the direct and indirect sunlight. We also have a thermometer that gives us temperature in both Celsius and Fahrenheit, so you have some idea what that's like. Now, as I go through in the Summer-Winter Gizmo, this is kind of like your hypothesis, background knowledge. This helps you figure out how everything works. Don't spend a whole lot of time here, just kind of play around. Here's where the important stuff happens. I've highlighted in yellow so that you know how to make sure you have your gizmo set up. You need to make sure that on the Space tab, you make sure you have the person at 40 degrees north and that you check that Show Sun Rays are on. Then you're going to read the introduction and you're going to give me a hypothesis. Remember, hypotheses are only wrong if you don't do it because you can have an incorrect hypothesis. Then you're going to collect some data. You're going to look at the rays on the panel. So you simply come back, whoops, wrong one, and you are going to count how many rays are striking the panel, okay? How many are touching? And you're going to input that answer here. You're going to then look at temperature, read the thermometers, and put them in the correct spot on the data table. Remember, they're by date. Daylight hours, that's pretty simple as well. You have the daylight hours given to you here. Now, the sun ray angle. This is where we've got some measurement that we have to do. In math class, you measure angles when you do geometry with this nice little protractor. So what you're going to do for sun ray angle is you're going to drag this protractor and you're going to make sure that this little T here, okay, lines up at the bottom of any one of the angles. And then you're going to follow that angle out and you're going to give me that measurement. Now, I will tell you, the outside of the protractor here has measurements and the inside. We want to always take the acute measurement. And acute means less than 90 degrees. So if you look on the inside scale here, I'm at like 150, 120. I know I need to do my measurement from the outside. So if this is 60, this is 70, 80, 90, it's by 10. The little light gray ones are a little different. So I'm going to follow this one out because I have it at the bottom of the T, and I'm going to see that that's about 74 or 73. So you can estimate that, and you would put that in as your sun ray angle. Okay, then you're going to go back and you're going to take and you're going to do it for December. So I have put it at the bottom of any of the yellow. They're all parallel, so it doesn't matter which arrow you put it at the bottom of, but whatever arrow you're at the bottom, you're going to follow it out, and I need the acute angle, which means less than 90. So I know it's not this 150. I've got to go out to the 30. If it's not exactly on 30, you're going to have to estimate and use your scale for your measuring and record that. Okay, then you'll have some questions to answer. For number 4, I put a hint. Use your data table, this data table from above here, to help you come up with your answers. Now I'm quickly going to go to the next one. You need to make sure that you get the gizmo ready. If you don't get the gizmo ready, you will get the wrong answers. So it has you change the person's latitude to 40 degrees south. So that means you've got to come back over to the space tab, and now instead of being in the north, you've got to be 40 degrees to the south, and make sure you've reset that tilt. You need to make sure your tilt's at 23.5. Again, you will go through and you will do all the same things for part B. Now the only difference is when I take my protractor and I line it up, in order to make it the acute angle number, you're going to have to use the inside scale here, the inside, not the outside numbers, okay, because I want the acute angle. Remember, the most direct sunlight's going to be coming straight down 90 degrees. We want to know what angle that sunlight's coming, if it's more direct or less direct for our results, and you will fill in your answers, okay?